All right, let's go ahead and get started. I don't want to keep people waiting who've been on here, see if other people join us. Just want to say thank you for joining us today. My name is Kim Guerra. I'm the marketing director here at Team Horner. I've been with Team Horner going on 20 years now. So all those years have been with the marketing department and most of them involved with this co-op program. So got a lot of history there. So I want to let you know that we will be recording this session. So afterwards, it'll be sent out to everyone who registered. And if you wanted to refer back to it, you'll be able to, or if you want to share it with somebody else in your company that you feel would benefit from it, then you'll be able to do that as well. So I want to be conscious of everyone's time. So I'm going to go through the slides that we have, and then at the end, we will open up for questions. So as we go through, if you have questions, be sure to jot them down, please, so you don't forget them, and then we'll go through those at the end. So the overall general idea of a co-op program for anyone is to have a mutually vested interest in the success of something. So in that light, the purpose of our program here at Team Horner is to help you, our customers, sell more of our products. So if you grow, we grow. And that's really our ultimate goal here, that ties directly into our motto here at Team Horner of working together, growing together, and winning together. So we have a structured co-op rule program, right? And we can send those rules out to anyone upon request, but I kind of want to walk you through just the gist of the program and break it down for you. It's pretty simple, but some people get lost in percentages. So here's the quick breakdown for you. So you earn a percentage of your company's purchases every year of the current year sales that we are going to set aside as funds for you to use in advertising. So the percentage differs based on which brand you're buying. So for AquaCal Autopilot, it's 5% of your current year sales. For Low-Calor, it's 5%. And for Stone Hardscapes, it's 2%. So now at the beginning of the year, say January through March, you may not have any sales to grow that percentage on. So if you have funds left over from last year, then we're going to roll 75% of those funds over to be able to be used early in the year. And we're going to continue using those funds based on the prior year till they actually deplete. And we're going to use those before we dip into anything for the current year. So I want you to think of those funds as money that's just sitting here in the bank waiting for you to be used on advertising. So, and you do not need to keep track of those funds. We'll do that for you. You can simply just email us and ask us what your current balance is. So you don't have to worry about those percentages or anything. Just email us. And I want you to take note of this email address. It's co-op@teamhorner.com. That's going to be a good resource for you. So when you email asking for that co-op balance, what we want you to provide to us, please, is your company name, your account number, if you know it, and then which brand you purchase. When you send that email to co-op@teamhorner.com, it actually sends 3 emails. It goes to the people who are responsible for those co-op funds for each of those 3 brands. So when you send that email, if you indicate which brands you purchase, that helps us on this end. So if you know you only buy AquaCal Autopilot, then the person responsible for Low-Calor and the person responsible for Stone Hardscapes doesn't need to do any extra work running reports. So that way, only the AquaCal person knows that they need to take care of this and get back to you. But if you do buy all 3 of those brands or 2 of them, please indicate that, and you are going to get separate emails from each of those. So we just talked about how you actually earn co-op funds. Now that number that we give you is the max that you're going to have that's available for you to spend. That's what's in the bank account for you. So let's set that aside for a second, and now let's talk about how those funds can be applied. So for any ad you do, we are going to reimburse you for the portion of the ad dedicated to our Team Horner brands. Now, that is not going to exceed that amount that we just talked about that you have available in co-op. That's going to be your max. So as an example, if you run an ad selling AquaCal heat pumps and you only include an itty bitty AquaCal logo down in the corner of the ad, then we're going to reimburse you for that itty bitty portion dedicated to AquaCal. But on the other side, if you do an ad on AquaCal heat pumps and the whole ad takes up our brands, shows our logos, our images, our taglines, things like that, and then you say, but it's available here at ABC Pools, if 100% of that is dedicated to our brands, then we're going to pay for 100% of that ad. It's quite literally the percentage of the ad that our brands take up. Again, that amount that we're going to reimburse you is not going to exceed that amount you have available in co-op. So I want to keep that in mind. So let's look at some of the ways to utilize the funds. So the most popular way by far is on apparel. So here are some examples for apparel. So here's some embroidery that some of our customers have done, as well as some screen printing. So what happens here for reimbursement is as long as you use one or more of our logos and no competitors, then we're going to reimburse you for 100% of that cost. If you have a competitor logo on there, then that percentage is going to drop. So while including our brands on your employee apparel shows your commitment and loyalty to us, and it shows consumers out there that you believe in our brands, which we love and appreciate, it's not the most effective use of your co-op funds. So I want to show you some other options that are more effective and actually are going to help sell more products for us. So many of our customers still do newspaper advertising. Some are still in print, most have gone digital, but they're still being used. Some others have opted for high-end magazines, things like that, home magazines that can really highlight those products. So those, same thing we were talking about before with what percentage is dedicated to us is the percentage that you're going to be reimbursed for. I can tell you both of these samples that I show you here were reimbursed 100%. Another option for other ways to utilize your funds is a direct mailer. So here's a sample postcard. While many people have stopped doing mailers due to their costs and the massive amounts of junk mail that we all get tired of receiving over the years, this actually opens the door for, if you do a mailing now, to actually be seen. There's a lot less overall junk mail, so it means you might get more attention. The big downfall on the direct mail side is the costs. They are expensive. However, they can be very highly targeted, and they really need to be. If you're going to do direct mail, you need to ensure that you are targeting the right people. So lists are out there that can be acquired that you can do for single family homes with pools in your target areas, and you can filter by other things as well, such as the current home value, making sure you're doing higher end homes, or what level do you really want to sell to, or household incomes. Those are things that you can put onto those filters to make sure you're really targeting who you want to hit. But now you need to make sure that the audience that you're targeting matches up to the products or services that you're offering. And another traditional but less utilized method is with TV or radio advertising. Here's a sample of a radio commercial that one of our other customers has done.
Want your swim season to last longer? It can. And you can save money when you heat your pool with an AquaCal heat pump from 21st Century Pools. Warm water means you enjoy your pool longer. Get an AquaCal heat pump installed now from 21st Century Pools and Spas.
All right, I can tell you about that direct mailer and that radio advertisement were reimbursed for 100%. And in that radio advertisement, you heard AquaCal was mentioned twice, and that was a 30-second commercial spot. So that does qualify for the 100%. If you do longer commercials, there's other, or TVs also, there's other requirements that are listed in our co-op rules. So another highly effective use of your co-op funds is with signage. So there's people that do billboards, outdoor signage at a retail store, or even on a job site. The retail store graphics on their windows, those work very well. If they want banners or posters inside of their retail stores, and also vehicle graphics. If you have customers, or if you want to have your service vehicles out there, things like that, and you want to put our brands on the wraps, we'll help cover some of that. So here's some examples. Here is a banner stand that we created for one of our customers up in the Pacific Northwest, and this banner stand is in all of their retail stores. And then here's also an example of a large truck wrap that we did for a customer that's up in the Northeast. And both of these examples show what we paid 100% on these. So another way you can use your co-op funds and be highly effective is with promo items. However, you want to make sure that whatever promo items you do are something that the pool owners are going to hold on to for quite a bit of time and not just throw away. The more they use them, the more they see your logos, and they're going to remember you and us. So some good examples of ones that have been done in the past are some hats, which you can see they have an AquaCal logo on the side here and the customer name in the front, the dealer name in the front. Some beach balls, which is a really good option. You know, the kids are going to keep playing with them. They're going to be out in the pool, something that they're going to hold on to. Some of our customers like to do customized towels. I'm not sure not very many people have thought about something like this. They like to do these customized towels, and that way they leave them with anyone who's they've built a pool for, or some of their good retail store customers, things like that. But a towel is definitely something that's going to get used more often than something they're just going to toss away. Other couple good examples are reusable water bottles. Everyone seems to be carrying one these days, but making sure it's a decent one that they're going to hold on to and use. Reusable totes, these shopping totes, everyone seems to have these out there now too. So this gets their brand in front, your brand in front of them often. A couple other examples that I'm not showing here are microfiber cleaning cloths, that you use to clean glass lenses or your phone, things like that, something that they're going to use, as well as can koozies. Everybody loves a can koozie. So those are things that they're going to keep with them and they're not just going to toss to the side. So make sure it's things that they hold on to. So the last type of advertising that I really want to touch on here is quickly jumping to the forefront of the effectiveness in the market today, of course, and that's internet advertising. And I know it can be very daunting to many people who just don't know where to start. So I want to review a few basic options that are out there just to make sure you're aware of them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is SEM, or search engine marketing. Many people have heard of it over time as pay-per-click advertising. You've all seen it in action when you're doing searches on Google. So in general, SEM is designed to increase the visibility of your website on the search engine results page by paying for it to appear at the top of the results. And the advertisers actually bid on these keywords that the users are searching for. So, but I do want to point out, it's not the same thing, and I don't want you to confuse it with SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization. That's not paid for. So SEO is adjusting your site to organically show as high as possible in those search result pages. So that's not paid advertising. Just want to point that out. So we're going to go back to SEM and pay-per-click advertising. I'm going to show you a few examples. The most common search engine, of course, is Google. So they offer those, but almost all the search engines offer some kind of advertising options on them. So as some examples, if you do a quick search like I did in this case here, I looked for a variable speed pool pump. So at the top, you'll see what Google calls product listings. So these shows images of the products that are being sold along with the price. These are really, really popular for online shoppers. So if you're looking to sell a specific product based solely on price, that's where you want to be. Just below that, in the next section, you're going to see is where those AdWords are. So these allow you to be more detailed in your listing and your ad, but they don't always show product images. They might not get a lot of as much attention as the ones at the top because they're not just as attractive. But they do also still show at the top of before any of the organic listings. There can be up to 4 ads displayed in this section. Then below that, you'll see the organic listings. So you'll know which ones, any viewer will know which ones on this page are ads based on where it says sponsored at the top. You can see above the product listings, it says sponsored, and that's paid for. And you can see above the AdWords, it says sponsored, and that's paid for. And then you'll see with the organic listings, there's nothing there because they're free. So the good thing about Google Ads, things like this, anyone can do this. As long as you have a Google account, you can go in and start doing ads for your company. Another type of internet advertising is social media ads. So all the platforms offer them. You can utilize any of them that you feel your audience is on, such as Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Yelp, any of them. So the best thing, they're very, very easy to do. As long as you have a login to your company's social media accounts, then you can go in and they can walk you through how to do an ad in there. It's simple. So the best thing about them is that they are very, very targeted. You can sort by so many different demographics. That's crazy. Age, gender, geography, their likes, their dislikes, just what preferences do they have? So you can really narrow down and focus on the audience that you want to target. Also, a good thing is that you are in complete control of your budget. You can set a daily budget, a weekly budget, a monthly budget. It's completely up to you. And it's very, very easy to turn on and off these ads. If you decide you want to change your budget, you can do it on the fly. If you decide you don't like your messaging, you can go in and stop it and restart it as soon as you're ready. So there's a lot of control that you have in your hands there, which is fantastic. They can be modified very quickly. And you can decide what path the consumer who views your ad goes down. You can have them fill out a form or go directly to your website. It's up to you. The other key point here is that they do provide really good analytics to you. They're going to show you the impressions of your ad, which means how many people saw your ad. Then they're also going to tell you how many engagements you had. Now, that engagement is when they took some kind of action. If they clicked view more or whatever button you have there. If they've clicked on your ad, that's going to be an engagement. And then if you're collecting leads through a form, that kind of thing, it's going to tell you how many leads you have. So it gives you really good analytics so that you can decide if something's working, if it's not, and you can make adjustments. And again, here's some examples. There's one for Facebook and one for Instagram. And again, the ads are always indicated at the top by that sponsored information there. So again, they're very versatile, very easy to do. There are actually companies out there that focus on all of these digital advertisements that do just that as marketing. So there's a lot you can do with it, but even just to get started, it's simple for you as the owner or one of the employees there to start working in it and see if it can be effective for you. Another internet advertising method that's available is video marketing. So these are usually seen on YouTube for the most part. So they show before, during, or after a video. And they're indicated by on the bottom left corner where you'll see where it says ad 1 of 2. But then you also need to know that if you're doing an ad here, they usually default to allow the viewer to skip the ad after the first 5 seconds or so. You'd have to see in the settings. But you need to know to change that. So I just wanted to point that out. I would say the biggest downfall on this type of marketing is that you do not get to specify which video your ads show in relation to. So your ad could show to something that's completely unrelated to pools and completely unrelated to what you want it to be. So we just want to make sure you're aware of that. Another method is something many of you probably have heard of, is retargeting ads. So these ads utilize cookies. So if someone goes to your website and then they leave, that cookie follows them. And so when they go to other websites, your ads will start showing up on those sites that are completely unrelated to you. So the point is to try and get them to come back to your site. So they can be shown as banners across the top of the page, down the side of the page. It depends on the ad that you're running. So here, obviously, I had gone and seen Toyota at some point, and then later when I went to the ESPN website, you can see that Toyota ad that showed up for me. To me, I feel they can be kind of annoying, but a lot of people don't see them that way. And a lot of people are like, wow, how do these people know I'm still interested in this? And it reminds them that they did a search for you and they found you before. And it's just that constant reminder. And sometimes they'll click on it. So it can be very effective. Keep in mind that anytime someone wants to buy something, we need to be able to touch them through marketing and advertising, usually about 7 times before they actually take action. And the last type of internet advertising that I want to touch on here is a little different. It's called banner ads. And these differ from retargeting ads because they don't follow you around. Instead, you actually purchase space on a particular website for your ad to display. So for example, here at Sun Sentinel, they do offer these type of advertisings. This is a local newspaper here down in South Florida. And you can see here, Disney purchased the space for an upcoming show that they had that was going to be down here in this area. And so they purchased space here to go across the top as a banner ad, or it can go down the side as well. But these can be very focused on your target market. But again, these are ads that you go to that website, like Sun Sentinel offers this, and pay to have an ad displayed solely on their webpage. So once you've decided what kind of marketing you want to do, the next question usually is, how do I get paid for it? How do I get reimbursed? So after you've done the advertising, after it's completed, here's what you need to submit to us, please, to get that reimbursement. So we need a copy of the paid advertisement, or the paid invoice. We are going to pay you. You are responsible for paying whatever vendors you use for your advertising. We are not going to pay the vendors directly. That's between you and them. We're going to reimburse you. Along with that copy of that paid invoice, we need to see a sample of the ad. So if it was a printed piece, sending us a PDF is fine. If it's a digital advertising, especially those social media ads or any of those other ones we just talked about, we need a screenshot. We need to see that final ad that the consumer was seeing. Or if it's a promo item or apparel or signage, some of the other stuff we talked about, then we want pictures, please. We want to see exactly what was printed, and we need to see all angles and all sides. So please make sure you submit that invoice as well as the proof of the advertisement to us. And where are you going to send that information when you get it collected? Back to that coop@Team Horner email address. Definitely take note of that email, please. So processing can take 4 to 6 weeks from the moment that it's submitted to us until you receive the check in the mail. And I want to point out those checks are going to come directly from those manufacturers, Aquacal, Autopilot, Low-Chlor, and Stone Hardscapes, not from Horner Express. And if you are getting reimbursement from multiple brands because you did include multiple logos or multiple information, you will probably get separate checks. So just to sum it all up, I want to remind everyone that the purpose of our program is to help you, our customers, sell more of our products. But I do want to mention that our program is flexible. Yes, we have our rules. We have to have those, but we're not limited to just what's mentioned there. I want to make sure you understand if you have a good idea for something that's not mentioned either here today in my presentation or in our co-op rules, definitely talk to us about it. Let us know what that opportunity is. And if we feel that it has great potential, then we will join with you with it. So again, you can email that to coop@teamhorner.com and that we can get back with you and say, yeah, we think that's a great idea, or no, we don't think that's going to be effective. So again, if you have an idea, don't be limited to just what's in the co-op rules or what we've talked about. Talk to us about it. We're open to hearing any good potentially good ideas. So that about wraps up the slides for me. My contact info is listed here at the top, but I want to go ahead and open up the mics to see if there's any questions. I don't see any hands being raised or anyone speaking up. So, all right. Chloe?
Hello. So if we want to sign up for this, do we need to talk to our rep first, or do we need to email that email account?
You can email directly to coop@teamhorner.com, or if you want to go through your rep, you're welcome to, and that's what they're going to do is contact us and ask us for your balance. So whichever's more comfortable to you, but you can go directly to us at that co-op email, or you can go through your rep.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Okay. All right, David, what you got for us?
Do we have like an e-blast type of email that we can send to customers, kind of getting this sparked up as opposed to just kind of one by one having conversations?
We're working on some collateral here in marketing to notify our customers through email marketing as well. For those of you who don't know, David is actually one of our employees, so we can work on that. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andre?
Oh,
Yes, go ahead.
hi. I was just curious. So, do I understand it correctly that in order to be reimbursed, there has to be a kind of some co-op dollars that have accumulated based on sales of product? Is that accurate?
Correct. Yes. So if you want to know ahead of time before you do any advertising, you can just ask us what your balance is for your co-op funds, and we will let you know what amount is available in that bank for you. And again, you can just email coop@teamhorner.com. It's co-op@teamhorner.com with your company name, account number, and which brand you purchase. And then we can let you know what those funds are, what those amounts are. And that way, you know, before you do any marketing, what you have to spend. And then I do want to mention also, if you are planning to do some marketing and you're not sure what it's going to qualify for, what percentage for the reimbursement, you're always welcome to submit it to us ahead of time and just say, hey, this is what I'm looking to advertise. This is what my graphics are going to be, or this is what's going to be. What percentage are you going to reimburse me for? And we'll tell you ahead of time. And that way you can make adjustments if you want, or if you're fine with whatever percentage we tell you, then you know ahead of time and you can go ahead and do your marketing. But nobody's required to submit ahead of time to us for permission if it's one of our normal co-op rules that we offer or options that we offer. But we definitely be willing to talk to people about it if you want to know ahead of time how much we'll be able to reimburse you for.
Got it. Sorry, can I just am I still okay? Just a follow-up question. So, and it is for just the three products: the Aquacal, low chlor and hardscapes, if I
Yes.
remember correctly.
Yes, AquaCal Autopilot is 5% of current year sales. Low chlor is 5% of current year sales, and Stone Hardscapes is 2%.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? All right. Looks like we are all covered. So if no one has any further questions, then I hope you found this informational. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. I want to thank you for your time and hope you have a great afternoon.